start? I think you said start with that. Wow, it's good to be here again. It's been a long time since I've been in California in this dojo. Okay, so relax. You don't have to sit in a line. You just sit in a circle, however you like, as we move through your class. I'd like to talk about posture, your relaxed feeling, how you make an Arimi step, how you make an Arimi Tenkan step, and how you make a full Arimi Tenkan. So, to me, Arimi is entering, like that. It means to enter, move in. You can move in one step or two steps. You can move in sliding slightly. This is Arimi. Arimi Tenkan is to enter and change direction, the other direction. And to make full Tenkan, or what we call Arimi Tenkan most times, we move in and we move the foot, right? And then sometimes move in and move the foot. But Tenkan also means to just change direction. So this is actually Arimi Tenkan. And then this would be two-step Arimi Tenkan. But we don't bother to say that or teach it that way so much verbally, because Aikido is demonstrative more than declarative anyway, because what I say doesn't mean anything. So really don't pay attention to what I say. Present yourself to the space and carry that space as you make your Arimi Tenkan. Try not to force yourself on your partner or do something to move your partner. Carry your partner with you as you make your Arimi Tenkan. Okay? Address your partner and just move in a very natural and relaxed, full way. Notice how my partner has his palm glued to my wrist. This is exactly correct. As I move, he feels that, he's sensitive to that, he moves with me. And he's in a martial position all the time. If his hand opens and separates from my wrist, he's vulnerable. This creates duality. We want to create harmony together, right? This is Aikido. So we don't want to separate from our partner ever. It's important to be cognizant of what's going on between us at all times. If there's a stiffness or an uncomfortable feeling, you're creating it. Not his fault. Uke is never wrong. It's like you're on the street, somebody attacks you and you say, oh, excuse me, I wasn't ready. Okay, now, could you attack me again? Right? Uke's not wrong. What happens between you is determined by what you do as Nage on a foundational level. Okay? So, look at each other, connect, nice and heavy like this. Present your energy to the space and carry the space. How you go. Thanks. Okay, and I separate as he goes. What I'm now pressured against is my pinky holding on for dear life, and this part of my hand driving into his outer bones. He's going to move no matter what, because I can't control his body by this grip. No way. So if I have some judgment about this encounter, I'm going to have a problem. So what I need to do is I need to look at him, give my palm to him through complete connection, and send my whole self to him. As I move, I may need to move this foot first. This shape happens. Or I may move this foot. This shape happens. So I'm protected from him, actually. And as he continues his movement, I can continue to feel that turn and come into this position. If I get to this position here with this grip and I stop and he goes, again, I'm very vulnerable. Right here, I'm totally vulnerable. Now, we do throws like that. But if I continue to connect to him and he wants to do that throw, it manifests here instead in what is better, is a better situation for both of us. It's less likely that I'm going to get injured, and it's less likely that he's going to choose to smash me down. You know? So, when we're continuing to warm up, that's how we'll do it. You'll make that move, lift, carrying the energy, and drop your weight on your partner. Like that, or in a tenkan. You can do a Rimi tenkan this way, step behind. Or just a Rimi. Anyway, okay? It is. Hold on. Don't limit space here. What's your name? RJ. This is better, RJ. Right? This movement is based on connection to body movement. Notice his position. If he drops his elbow in, it's easy to then make it up. Now the elbow goes down. Okay, now the elbow goes up. You go. If he's pushing on me here and resisting, if I use my arm and try to lift, I'm going to run into some issues. Strength, size issues, power play, things like that. But if I just connect with him and turn my body, he goes. He's not doing it for me. If the resistance is too much and there's not this turn, you can drop and create the space for kite. There's a lot of variables and there's also a lot of options. So, connect, move, turn your body, take this position. Now here, you want to go right to the earth. This is the fastest and cleanest line, most efficient line. People tend to sometimes, as they come around and get this nice position and this control, they tend to go forward or over there and overextend. This is incorrect. Okay? I'd like you to think about it in relationship to this line. See what happens to him? If I'm not not pushing him down. His response is directly related to my movement. As soon as I fixate on throwing him, it becomes more difficult. Or maybe I get to here and start to push him. And he's looking at me like, yeah, what are you doing? What's going on now? What do you expect from me, right? So, a lot of people in training, not realize, you feel that it's appropriate to push on one another or to force yourself on each other in practice. And that's not Aikido. If you want to do that, there are different arts that you can do that focus on that. And you'll find them. They're out there. This is resolving the situation in your favor. And furthermore, I'm not going to use his energy against him. I'm going to use his energy in my favor. Think about the words that you use to describe your idea, how it functions. This movement is a free movement. It's an easy movement, I should say. This movement is not free. I'm encumbered with him. It's easy. Very easy for me to move because I'm not doing anything to him. He's honest in his attack. He's sincere. He's giving me energy. And I can do something with that in my favor. So, Ikkyo, still warming up. Thank you.
You're going to break in the grappling and solve it. All right.
Okay, so now we're going to switch to the other graph, or the other side, the close side. So one of the things I like to do is I like to give my uke, or my partner, a direct, clear message. And when we're training together in a learning situation, the message should be sincere, but not aggressive. Aggressive you can do when you maybe you're cranking it up a little bit with a buddy or contemporary you like to practice hard with. That's fine. A little aggression is okay. On the street, I think the other side of the coin is more appropriate to more relax than be aggressive, but you may have to be a little bit more generous with your throws or your power. So here, as my partner comes, if he grabs me and has the upper hand, we'll call it here, you can move from this. Aikido Sensei studies it with us a lot. You'll connect, move, connect to the center, then it's free. You're free to move, right? From static. But we're not going to do that today because you already know that. What we're going to do is we're going to apply a touch. We're going to apply a connection with a direct message. Now this point is the most tension-filled point between us, other than our mind-heart connection, right? Physical, I mean. So I can't move this easily. If he's really resisting and strong, I start to push on this, now he has complete control over me. Complete. I'm totally in his control if I push here. So instead, I connect and I move myself in the direction with the message, the clear message, in the direction I feel the energy will go. Not where I want to throw him, but where energy will go. So I connect. I know energy is going to go here because there's no resistance in that space. It's the balance point. If I do this, and I want to go to this side, make my Arimi Tenkan, I can do the same thing once I've achieved that Mote shape, or a space. Or is related to me and him. Stand in harmony, please. This is his aura. This is my aura. This is his Mote. This is my Mote. Let's do our training orientation based around both of our spaces, not just his Mote or his aura. This is our mote here. My front space is front space. Still our mote. Now it's our ura. Okay? Hoshito Ikkyo Arimasu. This balance point here, stay there, don't move. Really great balance. That balance point. So here, this balance point, the front balance point on this side of me, or over in this direction we'll call it. And this hand comes back in there to his center, and this goes this direction. So we're working on principle, not technique, right? We're working on balance principle. You have a lot of time to practice. You can go on the top if you like. It's a little more difficult. You have a lot of time to practice technique, specifically when you're in the basic class or in the classes in the dojo, in your daily classes. Okay? I'll give you another option. There are not too many rules other than people get in front of you, stay in control of yourself. Who gets in back of you, it's a little troublesome. It's not easy to recover from this. You know, you become okay, right? It's not as easy to recover. Here, I can deal with him. Stand up. Stand up. There you go. So, you can let your partner stand up, you can keep your partner down. You can drive through your partner and lead them. So, any one of these. Okay, so now we're warmed up. We'll have a little more activity. Do those, you can do these. Drop your energy into your partner. Cut through. Ikkyo if you want. Drop your into the pose. Drop your energy back. Here, if I start to push on him, he's got all my power. So this is only the connection piece. You move from there. Address your partner. Give your partner something tangible to work with. So add your kodagaishi. Or you can turn your kodagaishi this way. Or this way. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thanks. Okay, so you got the kodagaishi part? This separates us, creates duality. When we get into training and activity between us, real training or just practicing, if we separate from one another. It may not look like it or feel like it to you, but this is duality. Creating two separate units where you really want to stay as one, so that you don't have to worry so much about Gaishiwaza, but you can cut through the center line. Sometimes somebody with a longer arm will come through and you get a little slap or a touch here. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you can avoid it. Almost, right? Touch it. Maybe here. It's okay. You're empty-handed. Here, no touch. A couple different options. You know this throw? Possibility of eating nugget. Okay, so you got the plug ice part? This separates us. Creates duality. When we get into training and activity between us, real training or just practicing, if we separate from one another, it may not look like it or feel like it to you, but this is duality. Creating two separate units where you really want to stay as one, so that you don't have to worry so much about Gaishiwaza, but you can cut through the center line. Sometimes somebody with a longer arm will come through and you get a little slap or a touch here. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you can avoid it. Almost, right? Touch it. Maybe here. It's okay. You're empty-handed. Here, no touch. A couple different options. You know this throw? Possibility of eating nugget. Right where you are. Possibility of eating nugget is dangerous because of this. Okay? Sometimes you may do this. Slow. You may bite the elbow before you get to the neck. Ikkyo, exchange, Iginage. Or Ikkyo, or Iginage. You can do a combination of things if you stay connected. Maybe this is possible, where her elbow isn't a threat. Maybe. If you give her this message, where it's actually leading. Now she's ready to punch me. But the message has to continue. You may have something really great go on. Whoa, look at that. And then all of a sudden, you got something coming from the other side. So don't get caught up in your successes. At the same time, don't get caught up in your failures. Just keep moving so that you can enjoy the practice. Think of the goal here. What's happening? Trying to stay connected, be real with each other, and help each other become better training partners. Okay? So add your kokyunage to your riginage and be careful of the elbow. Okay? trust him. He's on his way. I'm giving him my positive direction, my positive connection, my real intent, and not waiting until he gets here. Sending my key to him so he feels what's going on is nothing to be taken lightly. If I practice like this between techniques, what did you bring to the fight today? This kind of attitude is how you practice Aikido, always. I'm not being a jerk. I'm not hurting him. I'm just presenting myself completely every time. There's no question what we're doing. Here, my hair's pointing when I forget. I think I can get it all changed. Don't even come to the dojo when you're changing like that. Right? So now let's put everything we did so far this morning together. Kosudogi, Katadori, you choose. Everything we did, or anything that comes back to mind, or comes out, with that kind of intention, attention, and connection. Okay? So, now, with this intention, we can work with Kosadori, we can work with punch, we can work with, punch again, connection moving to the outside, punch again. We can move to the inside with all this connections, healing, and this real intent and real communication message to one another, the reality of our practice. So, as the punch comes, you can deal with it. Or you can deal with it. Or you can open it. Or you can close it and then open it. Okay? Take 5 minutes. Let's get some water. And please prepare yourself with a santo. Wood or metal as long as it doesn't have an edge. Okay, so last night I touched a little bit on the night practice. So we're going to do some night, and then we may move to empty hand and maybe back to night, see how we're doing. So the class this morning was all about, just put your neck away for a moment. It was all about actually connecting with one another in a real way, with a total commitment, principally speaking, not technically speaking. I wasn't really teaching technique at all. We were doing techniques, but that wasn't the focus of the class, right? Right? Just checking in. So this is a connection. This is a cut. A cut is a connection, but this is a connection. This is a strike. Right. This is a connection. This is a strike. Or a throw. If you can hit him, you can throw him. If you can throw him, you can hit him. Right. For her. That's a switch. The bait is the connection. The touch is the Tayatari connection. Tayatari means physical touching. Lead with key, touch, strike. Okay. So now, She has a knife. My partner's going to start with the knife in pike position. The defending knife is going to start with the knife in spike position, edge away. My partner comes in, and she's attacking with her right arm. I'm defending with my left. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to address her with my energy and invite her to attack, and I'm going to get offline and make the connection. The connection can be a touch, or it can be a grab, or it can be a hook. Or a Stockholm since it says a hook. And this is a position that we're in where she's vulnerable to my edge, and I'm in a decent position not to be cut by her. Offline, connect, move, connect. This side. No throws, no catches, no cuts. You can do it like that, one-handed with the other hand up. You can make an Arimi Tenkan for it, just that. No throws, no cuts, no deep engagement. Okay? Hey, what's up?
Thank you.
You should, you should try to be cognizant of the reality of your partner's blade, but that's not the main focus because, did you put your knife on the board for a second? Okay, knife. Attack! So yeah, it needs him to tell the knife, right? Knives don't attack on their own. So you don't have to, you may pick it up. You don't have to worry too much about the knife. You have to pay attention to the person. So as he comes in, you connect here. And that part is the most difficult part to move. Everything else can move. Could you move around a little bit? Everything else can move, but this part is the tough part, right? So I want to move everything else. And I want to put my blade in a threatening way towards him. And I want to protect myself from his threatening blade. Cut me. Still, he's in a position where he's going to get cut, even though that blade looks like it's ready to poke me. Other side. Connect. Here, this, I can actually, if I want to, I can use his knife against him by touching the side of the blade, not the edge, the side of the blade, and I can take the knife from the back and cut him at the same time, right? But that's a little more involved. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to do what we did before and slide that ten-shin foot. It comes in. I'm going to slide this Arimi Tenkan, ten-shin, and then take this hand in front of me with my elbows down. Look how his blade is against my hand here. The side of his blade, not the edge. The side of his blade. Then, I can take him down to the earth. And not be threatened too much by his blade. Now, in reality, if I am on the street or something, and he has a blade, I might get cut. I might start leaking a little bit. He probably will too. So you don't want to worry about that part. Because if you fixate on leaking, you're going to leak more. So you want to not worry, oh, a little cut will be okay. The one thing you want to protect is this part of your body. This part is armor. This is vulnerable. 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 So you want to protect with the armor. You get cut on the outside, easy survival. If you're cut on the inside, you have to do this, and you can't fight anymore. And you may make it. Or you may not. You get cut here, you won't. So, same side still. Body movement. This comes forward. protect here, just easy. This comes forward like a strike or a hip. Hold here, cut up into here, take the hand, come across, easy, and pin. Okay, go ahead. Hi. Any questions? Yes? Questions?
You were saying about your drawing your foot back.
Yes. Well, I will go to that. Put your sword away. Terimi, Tenkan, Henshin. That's your foot. Okay? I just say Henshin because that's what I say. Henshin.
Earth. Shin, energy.
Henshin. With your knife. Terimi, Tenkan, Henshin. So you can continue to practice that when it's something comfortable for you, and you can have one more. The other one is coming to the inside. Cut my wrist. Now I'm just holding him with the back of my knife. You're going to cut him through the carotid artery, front of the blade. Slow. So here, as this is coming, I'm going to change Honey, get offline. Now, it seems that he can cut me here, but if I'm having my energy going forward, it's very difficult to be cut. Cut my wrist. Ooh. Okay. If you go this side, you're going to get cut. See it? Just watching it. Okay. So you're going to go this side, out of the way. You can hold. You can cut. Oops, I have the leg closed now. Out of the way. He goes to cut me. I just give that positive forward energy with the knife going to him, rather than pulling. Slow. If I pull the knife to me, I'm sure enough we're going to get cut. Or even if I pull and he cuts my wrist, it's going to cut my wrist. So you don't pull. Forward to him. Offline, you can use this hand. You know the Shihonagi? Whoops. I didn't mean to punch you in the face. I did not. I tried to cut your throat. Slow. So this is same side, same side. Seems a little dangerous. Don't have your arm up like this. Slice. That's not a good idea. Come here, elbows down. You can do that. Or you can do this. Slicing here, hooking here. You can slice here. You can grab the other side. So be gentle with each other. This is not wood against skin stuff. You know, be careful. This is the important part. Now notice that this is vulnerable. I have a hand. It's not a blade, but the blade is in a good shape right now. I could abandon this. Give him a little energy forward. And just cut right across, right? I don't have to do the full technique move. Or so just play that and then move on. Hi. Any questions? Yes? Questions?
You were saying about your drawing your foot back.
Yes. Well, I will go to that. Put your sword away. Terimi, Tenkan, Henshin. That's your foot. Okay? I just say Henshin because
Earth,
Earth.
energy.
And shin. With your knife. Yurimi, Tenshin. So you can continue to practice that when it's really comfortable for you, and you can have one more. The other one is coming to the inside. Cut my wrist. Now I'm just holding him with the back of my knife. You're going to cut him through the carotid artery, frontal blade. Slow. So here, as this coming, I'm going to change Hanmi, get offline. Now it seems that he can cut me here, but if I'm having my energy going forward, it's very difficult to be cut. Cut my wrist. Ooh. Okay. You go this side, you're going to get cut. See this? Watch it. Okay. So you're going to go this side, out of the way. You can hold. You can cut. Oops, I have the leg towards me. Out of the way. He goes to cut me. And just give that positive forward energy with the knife going to him, rather than pull it. Slow. If I pull the knife to me, I'm sure enough we're going to get cut. Or even if I pull and he cuts my wrist, it's going to cut my wrist. So you don't pull. Forward to him. Offline, you can use this hand. You know the Shihonagi? Whoops. I didn't mean to punch you in the face. I did not. I tried to cut your throat. Slow. So this is same side, same side. Seems a little dangerous. Don't have your arm up like this. Slice. That's not a good idea. Come here, elbows down. You can do that. Or you can do this. Slicing here, hooking here. You can slice here. You can grab the other side. So be gentle with each other. This is not wood against skin stuff, be careful. This is the important part. Now notice that this is vulnerable. I have a hand, it's not a blade, but the blade is in a good shape right now. I could abandon this. Give him a little energy forward, and just cut right across, right? I don't have to do the full technique move. Or so just play with that, and then move on. So now what we've been doing is we've been actually. We're still on the same side. We haven't crossed hands yet. We'll do that a little bit later. Now what we're going to do is, as he attacks Shomen, we're going to slice him on the way up. So now he has something to think about. There's an opening. And he's starting to leap. Right from the get, right from the attack. Now, here we are playing with wood, practicing with wood. Not playing actually, but simulating knives. Once you cut somebody, or once somebody is cut in an engagement, you have to manage that situation. You know, in the old samurai movies and even the manga and stuff like that, they cut them and they it's like pretty overkill on the theatrical side of things. But if you're pumping blood, your heart is going, and it is when you're in an engagement, right? When you're fighting, or you're getting engaged and presenting the ring. Your heart is pumping. You're like, relax all those years of training. It's going a mile a minute. You know, you'd be lucky if it's not, right? So that's happening. You open up, it's coming. So once the opening happens, you have to manage that situation. Maybe you're in a situation where you're taking a life to save your own and your family. Remember today was the protection part? You have to manage them dying. You can't just cut it and run away. Really, and you could. But you might have to just manage that situation. And so, physically, slippery, blood is slippery and sticky, and it's getting on you, and there might be some bugs in that blood. You know? So, he comes down, you cut him, your forearm comes forward, you can grab the elbow and cut him under the arm, and here I've managed it a little bit better. I'm not getting cut, all this blood is going to the earth. Right? Slow. So, cut, catch, keep this forward, this hand can be here, cut and go to the earth. On the inside, cut, this is against it, try not to let it spurt in your eyes, come down, forward, and manage the situation. Maybe you have to just put him like that and get away, right? So now, think of that piece. You're cutting on the way up, you're doing basic techniques that I already showed, and you're managing each other while you're breathing. Okay. Okay. So everybody stand up, spread out, make a circle. Just for a minute, we're going to learn a few. This is I do this in the beginning usually, but we were kind of all our way through. We're going to learn a few manipulating drills, right? So you can have your tanto in the back, like this, or in the front, or on either side. So we'll start with it on the traditional samurai side, left side edge up. So you're going to take your knife in right handi, left hand comes out like that. Then your thumb and your hand work together. So you can manipulate the knife by squeezing it, turning it, extending it out, using your thumb to change the direction of the edge. If it comes out of your belt edge up, and you want to cut your partner, you have to turn it with your thumb and engage the grip as it's going up. So he's coming at me and my knife is in my obi. If I don't want to hurt him, I have to be able to control that edge so I don't hurt him at all or cut him. Let them know where my edge, cognizant of where my edge is. If I want to cut him, I take it out, I have to use my thumb right away. Then I control, and I can cut here. Right? So, let's try that. Take it out, push with your thumb, control. Take it out, push with your thumb, control. Okay. Now, in order to get it going forward, the tip forward, you have to open your palm and use your thumb and your fingers like you're pointing there, where you're going to play mumbly peg, where you throw the knife at somebody's foot. You ever play mumbly peg when you're a big foot player? Or there. Then use the weight of the blade, and you can manipulate it back and forth. So this one is dropping forward, bringing the top of the blade into your, the top of the weight of the blade into your hand. And you have this position. You can open your hand like this. Notice how I'm using gravity to help me. If the knife falls out of your hand, it's okay, just try again. Monkeys fall out of trees too, or at least to one of the next branches. Right? Then, place the knife in your other hand. And turn it. Using your thumb and your grip. Open. Bring your hand up and let the knife pivot with the weight of the knife. So you're in this position on this side. Let it drop. Bring your thumb and your grip. Open. Bring your hand up and let the knife pivot with the weight of the knife. So you're in this position on this side. Let it drop. control. Let the motion work with changing your knife position. And then start to think about how you switch hands, switch positions, and get back to that idea where you're working with someone, you're training with them, have intent, and there's reality between positioning, just switching from hand to hand, forward or back. All right, now pick a partner and do this, both of you, and don't be too tricky or too fast. Just be in front of one another, engaged, where you feel confident with your knife. Like that. Okay, go ahead. And if you have a wooden knife, it's a little easier. Okay, great. So now, one of you, you're going to do that. You're going to get in position. You're going to feel where you're at. And then, when the attacker, the chosen attacker, you're going to be the attacker, sees that I'm in the practice-ready position that we've been training for the defender, he will attack. All right? So you're working around a little bit, see what goes on. When you see that I'm ready, you then will do a simple move where you're just connecting. So you saw how that worked? It was very simple. I mean, you saw, oh, I'm using ready position, same side, opposite hand, right? Okay, very good. So now we're going to switch. Everybody wants to get a little ahead of themselves, so we'll switch. Let's go to the other hand. We'll both have the same hand. All right? Now, the scenario is going to change slightly because of the dynamics and the actuality of the positions from this hand to that hand. All right? Now, you know, put your knife away for a moment, when you do Yoka Minuchi Shihanage in a foundational way, this movement, you have no blades. Right? It's empty hand. So now, if he takes the blade, and I do that, he comes in Yokomen, all of a sudden, this is a reality. Okay? There's no blade in this hand, empty hand, right? Again. So I have to keep a positive forward pressure or tension between us. Pressure, tension, these words are kind of limited. Pressure and tension. Let's say connection and forward energy. There's my Shivanagi. So, look. Cross hand. Here's incorrect. Pulling. All right. Correct. Extending forward and being connected here. Turn and cut back towards me. So turn your edge. Now just leave it in your hand. Now turn your whole hand and body and come towards me and cut like that down. Okay. You see, if you keep that positive forward connection like we did at the hand this morning and last night, that's not an issue. Back to this side. Forward. You can use your palm if you want, or you can just use where you're touching. So we'll practice this a little bit. We'll do the catching from this side. We'll do this. We'll open it up. Apply this. This. Okay. So all of those from the yoga Yokomunuchi Shihonage Ri Tenkan approach. Energy out, energy up, energy in, down. Okay? So, what you want to do, you want to look at your partner when you're practicing with your partner in the Geshimas. So he's coming, he next to Yokomen, and I want to continue to look at him because he's the guy I'm dealing with. I'm not dealing with his knife. I'm dealing with this guy. So if I'm trying to figure out how to make the technique function, and I go like this, I'm working on that, he's really in a strong position. You always, I recommend you always deal with him. He's coming at me. He's the guy, right there. I'm dealing with him, not his knife. His knife is just an extension of him. As soon as I fixate on, oh my God, here comes that blade. Here comes, oh, shit. I'm hoping for that, you know? I want to be putting my energy towards him. Attack like this, slow, just watch. Stand still, I'm going to use you as a target. Right? Rather than that. Just because it's a little more direct, and it's also a little easier to train that way. Because I got to wait for that to come around and think about that whole thing while I could just be going in and dealing with you. Right? There you go. That's an attack. That's the Yokomen. So I have a bit of a space thing going on there. His knife is a little longer than mine, so it's okay. As a matter of fact, let's look at it like this. Who gives this one? Put that in your open. I still need to be able to do that, get around, so and not get cut. But I don't want to do this. What I'd like to do is deal with it here and go down with it, down a little bit, so that my posture is maintained. Now that's a difference really coming around the outside. You might choose to do that a little longer weather. It's a little bit safer. But we didn't go there yet. We're still working on the inside. Slow. Cut my belly. I'm protected here. He's threatened by the edge. So now just take your tanto. Look out there. Put the shoto over there. Good. So with that said, the Yokomen comes here. On the change, drop your body. You get touched a little bit? That's cool. This is practice. Change partners. Let's go back to our manipulation of our onegaishimasu, of our tantos. It doesn't matter whether you're going this side or, you get the attack and it comes this side. Or it doesn't matter. Or this way. Okay? So, choose who the attacker is. And don't try to sneak up on each other too much. It's not a challenge, it's a learning time. This is not real. This is practice. So don't let your ego get in the way where you have to show the other person you're practicing with how cool you are. They already know how cool you are. Okay? So, I was just mentioning that it's a lot like with a knife in your hand. Knife over practice. So look at it like that. Partner or your techie, whose enemy in Japanese, is always a threat, no matter what aspect of the engagement you're in. Now, when we started class this morning, I talked about carrying space and bringing your partner along in that space. But as we get into learning new things like this, we get to a place in our mind where we kind of let that go in one ear and out the other. We're working on this instead of this, right? So now, for the last 5 minutes of class, I want you to put back in that holding of space while you're training with the knife. Let's get away from doing the switching of the hands. That was just an exercise for you to know that that's, a reality when you have someone on the street or you're doing some self-defense. You have to be aware of where your edge is and how to deal with getting a knife out, putting it away. And choose an attacker. Put yourself in this position, and it can be either hand because you've learned both sides so far. And we're only dealing with showmen. We didn't do yokomans. We did do yokomans, right? We did in the upstand. We did the skis yet. That's right. Skis are a little different animal. We can practice that maybe tomorrow a little bit. If you're coming around tomorrow, we can add, we're going to do all things tomorrow. We did love, now we did protect, and tomorrow we're going to do the rest of the bond. You want to go, I can do all things. Well, basically what we're going to do is just put the whole thing together that we worked on, including the cutting. So here, now, he attacks, you're going to carry the space, and you're going to feel your surrounding and your area. And you're going to be also, I'm using this word a lot, and cognizant of the people around you and the other people training in the dojo, and feel them in the space. You're dealing with your space. You're carrying your space. You're not just defending against your partner. You're dealing with what's going on around you. And you carry it. All right? Go. Just watch for a moment. When you make this move, you need to move your body. What's happening is you're really getting stuck on this here. Don't worry about that. That's not really the threat. Remember I said, he's the guy. He's attacking me. I'm going to deal with him. He's the guy I'm thinking about. I don't want to use the word worried about, because that puts a little bit of a negative image in my mind. I just want to say, okay, I got to deal with this guy. Hey. And everything's okay. If I go for the knife and I'm doing something here, everything's not okay. This is the attitude you practice, whether you have a knife or not. Whether you train at a slow, even pace. Thank you. Or you activate it a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, you okay? Bumped it right in the nose. If you activate it a little bit.
Okay, go ahead, just do that, empty hand. No kicking.
So I hope you had fun. I had a good time. Everybody's so receptive. Thank you so much for your honesty and your open mind, and also letting me make some mistakes, which was helpful for me. I'm only so far down the path like you, and things pop up that you're stuck in your foundation that you try to work through, like the other stuff that doesn't quite work on every level. It's nice to be able to be free and completely secure in your movement and your feeling. It's not a reality for a long time, or maybe ever. So don't attach to that. As I said earlier, don't attach to your successes. Don't attach to your failures. Just acknowledge them and let them go and keep going forward. So, we have had 2 classes so far, very similar classes. Today we had a little bit more emphasis on Tonto stuff. Last night we had a little bit more emphasis on the empty hand. And this is the stuff that I'm working on right now, the connected piece, the understanding how to deal with the manage the situation, how to be in a real connection with your partner without being vulnerable, yet not aggressive, not trying to throw your partner, more like just always being in a position where you're, controlling the situation, managing the situation. Managing is a better word because that denotes control in itself, and you're also, dealing with whatever's going on in the situation. Controlling the situation is a little bit narrow. You're not in control when you're managing. You have control, but you're not always in control of everything. You're just kind of managing what's going on. I like that word better. Trying to find words that really make sense in our practice. Nami doesn't make sense. Because we're not really throwing each other. What we're doing is we're supposed to be moving in a correct way, and the result is the attacker is presented with options. Fall down, protect yourself, roll away, engage in the energy until something transpires like a throw or a throwing movement. But that word throw is tough because it's not throwing. Who says that? So, we are going to give you a demonstration for just a few moments. We, meaning Sensei Jim and myself. Each of us are going to cut one target right now in front of you to show you what we're going to be doing this afternoon, and that you can be involved in and do with us if you like. I'm a sword maker. I make swords here in the U.S., and I also make swords in China. I brought the swords with me so you can see the different grades of swords. Some that I made in my studio in China, and some that I made here. And you can look through them and swing them around, and you can cut with some of them, and enjoy a little bit of what I enjoy. No pressure, you don't have to buy one. They are here for you if you want them. They'll be here in the future if you want them. Jim Sensei is a representative from our company, and he sells these swords too, so you can get some if you're interested in the future. When I first started Aikido, my teacher was a sword collector, a Japanese sword collector. And I was an artist. I went to college for conventional design. Please, make yourself something. And I thought I would be a sculptor. After I got enamored with Aikido and the reality of this 2-foot razor blade, or 3-foot razor blade thing that I can swing around, I was like, that's cool. I can do that. I can make that. Sensei, I can make swords. I want to make swords. Okay. So why? This is how you Japan, you apprentice, it takes years and years to study. So I took the challenge. Anyway, we're going to just show you a little bit of
let them drain for a minute.
Just do right there.
Okay! Okay! Ah! Hey! Hey! Ah!
So something like that.